Hello everybody, how are you? I trust you're well and welcome back to my channel. And I know that I do not normally talk a lot in my videos. However, today I was like, okay, let's have a video where I can answer all your questions and I can just try to give you a little bit of a more understanding of my world. So today I'm in a still in a beautiful location, and let's see. Well, I'm just on the terrace. It's yeah, it's warm, but it's another beautiful day. Um, so a lot of people ask me, how do I afford to keep traveling and to keep staying in a beautiful location and everything? Um, Straight answer. First of all, definitely, I've worked in in the corporate world. I was working in the fashion industry. I was working, in a different around the world, and I traveled a lot. So I think that I've always had a very strategic approach when it comes to stabilizing a kind of lifestyle that would allow me not to be linked or not to be tied up to a specific location. So that was something that I've always done since back in the days. I've always worked internationally and always try to get the best opportunities to move across jobs and roles just by changing city or country or whatever. Then, when you work in the fashion world, in the fashion industry, you basically kind of never in the same place. So you spend, you do New York, Paris, Milan, London. I mean, now we do the other way around, but it's still, New York and London, Milan, Paris, and you do it for 3 times a year within 1 month. So you kind of, and in between, the different fashion periods, you also need to to go for castings, or you go for commercial or for for shootings and stuff like that, so all over the world. So you just basically live with your suitcase ready, and that's is a kind of a lifestyle. But on one side it's beautiful because I got to see so many amazing places, and I got to uh, I developed myself, my persona as well, as a well-traveled person, a well-traveled person, a person that knows how to behave, or how to, yeah, how to, how to get around in different scenarios, in different settings. But on the other side as well, it gave me, or gave a lot of us the kind of downside of not being able to stay so much in a specific place for too long. And so that would be basically, you would live a kind of isolated lifestyle, or everything, all the kind of relationship were more transactional, and you will always be in between places. You miss birthdays and parties with the friends, and then one day you were in one place, the other day you were in the other place, and then sometimes when you travel, you don't always have the chance to to also visit, and also to take a day off to go to visit your family and friends. So that's something that kind of I had to deal with, and I turned this situation to my advantage, to to be able to to see the most of the world that is beautiful, where the world is beautiful. And also when I left working in the fashion world, I worked in in the innovative and still um, creative space and industry, where also you needed to be between London's SFO, New York, Dubai, and sometimes Tokyo. So it was always spread out across the globe. And I'm not gonna lie, there have been some moments where it was very challenging, especially when this kind of um, I wouldn't say instability, but this kind of short-term projects would affect also my relationship, my private life, and my ability to to settle and all the different things. But it is what it is. We have to do what the best with what we have, and so I think that once a few years back I had the opportunity to start fresh and to to completely separate myself from from the words that I knew that I knew. I think that with the first thing that I've done I was, yes, I want to travel, but I don't want to be I don't want to be I want to be free. I want to set myself free, not to have to travel because you need to go for a casting there, or because you have to have a meeting there, or because you need to have an event there. It was just more traveling at my own pace, traveling at my own conditions, and that is what actually got me, yeah, freed me. I have to be honest, and it was challenging because waking up every day and not knowing what's gonna happen the day after, and still embracing it, and and this it's not easy to travel as well. It can get expensive, very expensive. It can few things can happen, but I'm still here, and since then I enjoy it even more. I think that on one side you have the kind of, I do have the adrenaline of not knowing what's gonna happen tomorrow, where I'm gonna be tomorrow, what is gonna be, what's gonna happen during a new, um, a new travel experience. But at the same time, I think that that's adrenaline, that's fear, is what motivates me and what makes me, and what keeps me alive. Because I just think, wow, even now, I've been on, I'm islands hopping, so it's amazing because I get to see different islands, but at the same time, because it's still in the same archipelago, in the same, in the same seaside, in the same sea, definitely it can sometimes can feel, oh, I've been here for a long time, and I mean not a long time, 6 months. It's not, but compared to how long I've been traveling in the past few years, I think 6 months in the same place, you can feel a lifelong commitment. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying every single day. And that's what the thing that I also had to learn, because when you don't have a plan, when you don't have it's like you don't have a plan, but you don't have a strict plan, or you need to you don't need any you're free, and you're able to to work flexibly from wherever. You also try to enjoy every day as if it was the last one, because you never know, maybe tomorrow something happens and I need to go to a different island, so maybe I'm get fed up and I'm moving to a different hotel or a different house. And yes, and I think that has been the the height of my last few years. And I think that that's how I've been able now to I've been able to travel so much. And that's what I want to do, to pass across throughout my social media also, is that you don't always need big budgets to travel. Of course, sometimes you just like to be in such a nice paradise, but you can there are different ways. I think it's a more there are smart way to travel and to be conscious of your budget, of the planet Earth, but also of the kind of adventure question mark that is keeping us alive and is keeping us human. Because what's more human but crying, or not crying, but yeah, even just crying, or even worrying. I mean, like they are now an hour worrying, thinking, wow, what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I mean, my there is no I reserved my hotel for, I don't know, 20 days. I'm on day 21. I need to leave. I need to make a move. I haven't found a new place yet. I don't know how I'm gonna happen, how it's gonna happen, and just trust the universe. And that is the other thing, the other side of my travel. I've become even more spiritual. I've always been very always loved yoga, and I always love spirituality. I always love nature. I would always recharge around beauty, around nature. But now I'm also even more aligned. So I know that I don't have to worry so much because I know that something will gonna happen. Pantarei, the Greek used to say, everything moves and everything is in a evolvement, and then everything is developing, and as everything is developing, nature is so perfect. It's so, even if we don't understand it, it's so perfect that something amazing always gonna happen. You never, you don't. Sometimes you never look at the nature and you think, oh, that is an ugly. That is an ugly process of of the universe. Everything everything in the universe has its reasons, its causes, its consequences. So I think that's as much as I'm aligned to the universe, I know that I'm gonna move and I'm gonna develop and evolve alongside this amazing planet that we are living. And of course, if I can chill in such a beauty, why not?